might talk about this. About this,
and they might even use different words for.
Right now, it's like more gangs too.
Yeah,
like
and they use different words
and
terminologies for the same exact thing, whether it was a drug or a gun or the. It's it's just like a whole world in those lyrics. It's so fun. But
so you know what I mean, like.
And then rap beefs got me really into it.
Then rap beefs, you know everybody with the Pac and Biggie and all that. And
then you go Cannabis LL, you do Ice
Cube and Common.
You go, 50 Job.
50 and Job Murder Inc.
And Murder Inc.
Was lit.
Oh my god. Dude,
but then, like I said, when we talk about like the GOATs, I just, there's a lot, I think, for me, personally, when I put into that GOAT category.
I put Dylon.
But there's a lot that goes into that category that I think, like, for me, you know what I mean? Like, you gotta, like, you know, Jay says sometimes, like, you got the realest talk.
Yeah.
You got the most lyrical.
What makes them the
You know what I mean? Like, you gotta have all that. Like, you gotta be believable. You gotta say shit that's real shit. Like, but see, that's what I'm saying. But we go back to rap. Now we just go into rap. We done spread the coast.
Now, remember back in the day, like, they were doing this. A year ago, they were doing like a rap list and who's the GOATs, and who's your favorite, who's top, who's number one to number.
Well, I've been on Facebook and I seen people like say like they put like Jay, they don't like Jay or this and that. And
again, like, personal preference.
But to me, like Jay is the GOAT. There's a lot of reasons why I can tell you he's the GOAT. Because, like I said, lyrically he's lyrical. Like I can show you things where he's, you know what I mean. There's songs that you can put up. I can put up against whoever you're saying is lyrical. It's lyrical. And then it's real shit that he's talking about. Like, nobody can deny the shit that he's talking about is real. Right? That almost like a storyteller. Right? Like a Slick Rick, like art of the storyteller, right? And then he actually sells records.
There's things he's saying. No, record sales and all that I get. But this is the problem with that.
Right, he outbeat the Beatles.
No, here's the problem with that. Right? The problem with that portion of the argument is that people can add that in. If we're just talking about lyrical, and we're just talking about like actual, right?
Ask about what?
If we're actually just talking about the rap portion of it, the lyrical portion of it, when it comes down to it, and we're actually breaking it down, he's saying stuff that people won't even pick up for another 3 years. They'll listen to it 85 times and still not know everything the guy said. That's how far it goes. Yeah, it goes that far. M's the same way, Pac's the same way, Big's the same way, Pun's the same way, Big L's the same way. It's very complicated. They're saying so many things, and they're doing double entendres, triple entendres. They're not just saying what they're saying at you. And when you really look at what they're saying, you're like, oh my, there's so much ingrained in that. And then the switch of the flow and the way they grasp it. So,
all right. So while we on the rap conversation, we got a special guest.
You know, he can't get in here.
Why can't he can't get it?
He's gonna sit right here in
front
of the camera.
Talking about rap.
Yo, you didn't have to interrupt us. We could have just shot this after.
No, we talking about rap. Come on. Nah, come on.
It's too late now. You fucked it up.
Yeah.
Why not? That's the whole point of the conversation.
Surprise!
Yeah, surprise.
Nice.
So we were talking about
rap,
lyricists and rap, and there's different languages in each place. So South.
Well, I was saying, the original story is, I'm saying, like, I used to listen to down south, Master P, Trick Daddy.
Racism.
Come in, sit down.
Racism in America.
All right. White devil. Sit down. Anyways, we were talking about like rap. We were talking about like I was telling them before, when I used to listen to rap, I used to listen to Master P, Trick Daddy. I was starting to listen to Cash Money more and more. But then when somebody introduced me to Jay-Z, it changed my thoughts about it, because before, like, everybody thinks like other states, other cities ain't hood.
Yeah.
Back in the days, right? You never been to Chicago. Yeah, I didn't know. Back in the days. Now we know Chicago.
You're ingrained
hood.
In your own.
When I was in the hood down here, that's the only hood I knew.
What's going on in
Chicago? I didn't know Chicago was gangster.
Yeah, every city has a hood.
Right? Every city has a hood.
Oh,
Kansas, I know for sure. When I went to Missouri, Missouri was hood.
Yeah.
Right? It was a different hood.
Yeah.
They sold drugs to different people. It was different. What I'm saying is, I didn't know. Right? So New York, when I went to Brooklyn, and Patricia told me to tuck my chain in when I'm going down, I'm like, Nah, I ain't tucking my chain in. And then and when I go to see Carla, Carla's like, tuck your chain in.
Yeah. She
Right?
knows.
Because I don't know. I'm in the dollar cab. I'm like, I don't know. And I'm thinking like, they ain't no hood like my hood, right? A lot of people live in those hoods. They don't know that there's killers. There's killers in every neighborhood.
Oh, yeah.
In Maine, there's killers, right? I don't know. Connecticut, probably, right? So what I'm saying is I didn't know when Jay started speaking to me and started rapping, when I started speaking to me, I was like, damn, Jay saying the same shit that I feel like. You know what I mean? Like Feeling It, Dead Presidents, like all those, that Reasonable Doubt album, when my homeboy let me listen to it, I'm like, damn, bro.
Expanded your
He said all that shit. Like, I'm like, damn, Jay spitting.
Yeah.
So that got me open to that other type of music. Because before that I was listening to just South.
Yeah. Because you're repping your thing.
A little bit of
You've
West
been
Coast
pushing all
stuff,
the
but I
time.
wasn't really
That
East
was what
Coast.
was more accessible to you.
Yeah, I wasn't really East Coast rap.
Right.
But then I know like, damn, Brooklyn is hood.
Well, you was East Coast, you was just in the South.
I was in the South, correct.
Mhm.
So I listened to Atlanta.
And also the language is different. I was trying to tell you.
language.
They were talking about birds, it would be a different word, or it'd be like Coke or whatever, whatever it was.
Chopped and Screwed is popular here.
It's Texas.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Texas.
Yeah.
So like, that's what we were talking about. So I'm like, when I was saying when you go to GOAT status, we got to pass that, we went to GOAT status. I was like, you gotta be I think you gotta combine all those.
Yeah.
Like I think for me personally,
Like,
like
you said
Jay
Jay.
combines everybody.
Yeah.
Right? Jay has lyrics, right? The shit he's talking about, nobody's denying that it's not real,
Mhm.
right? And then he sells records also, right? So it's like,
And I stopped him and said, well, record sales,
And then-
it's tough.
and
because
lyrically
there's lyrical rappers out there that are really, really good
but see, that's
that
I'm saying
aren't
that's one.
selling that
That's one
True.
section.
because there's a J at the helm.
But that's what I'm saying. That's one section.
No, I'm not. I'm talking
People like catchy stuff.
right.
Correct. Like
Nowadays,
if he
it's
didn't
not
make Big
always good
Pimpin',
lyrics.
if
No,
Jay
no,
didn't make
no.
Big Pimpin',
Uh-huh.
and Jay didn't make like Throw Your Hands Up, you know, like he didn't make those songs, we wouldn't know about Jay the way we know about it. Or Hard Knock Life.
Yeah.
Like Hard Knock Life album was the album that was all about
Kinda
commercial.
hit 'em.
Yeah.
That was like his
Yeah.
all commercial
He
album.
wasn't
For sure.
Reasonable Doubt was gangster. It was too
Yeah.
like ingrained rough.
Yeah.
And then Volume 1 was kind of right. Ain't No Nigga and
Kinda,
all that was
yeah.
on there, I think, right?
Yeah.
That was kind of like getting more commercial, but then Hard Knock Life was all.
What was the
commercial.
one with the two? Was it black and white? Or was it black?
Volume 2 was all commercial. Like it had
black and white.
DMX.
You
It
talking about on
had,
the cover?
on the cover?
yeah, that was
he
like.
wearing the black and white
That's when he
suit.
had everybody on the album. He had all those people, and that's when he sold the most records
Yeah.
from Volume
Yeah,
2.
that one.
Right?
went
And there was most of
The
the
double.
commercial records.
Oh yeah.
What I'm saying is that's why I say he has all of that. But then he goes back now and he's still talking about street shit. He's still talking about
Yeah,
like
definitely.
real shit.
Yeah.
And he's still selling records.
And he also talks about rich shit or
Rich shit.
Yeah.
But he's progressed too.
Yeah.
That's why I say
He's
that's why I put Jay.
definitely
Because
he's diverse.
he talks about like shit that's
He's
going on
not
right
just
now.
saying,
He's not
I'm
talking about like
interested
shit.
in
He does
the
talk
hood
about shit he
portion of it.
did. But right
yeah.
now he's talking about shit like real shit.
Yeah.
Like story of OJ. Like
Yeah.
those shits are like
Yeah.
who's talking about it?
Oh my god. That's,
Right? So it's like that's what we're getting
He
to.
talks more business nowadays.
Yeah.
But he's talking about shit that's going on too.
he already told everything that's going
Yeah.
on. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We're talking about
He's
rap
able to
and
stay
go-
relevant that way.
Yeah.
Because he's able to take a subject
So
like
what you
Yeah,
Like
yeah, I
rap-
agree with you. you
yeah,
know,
about rapping, rapping.
Yeah, so what did y'all want to talk about?
Well, I'm saying, but like you
Whoops.
listen to you listen to other rap, like you listen to the South and you listen to the
Oh
West.
yeah, I mean, me being from Brooklyn, y'all talking about rap.
Yeah, I know you.
So
that's what
yeah, I
I'm saying,
listen
you
to
have-
different genres of music. So
Yeah.
even in New York, but I'm more accustomed to, of course, the New York rappers being from New York.
Yeah.
Mhm.
The Jay-Z's, the Biggies, but we got a lot of like real lyricists from New York.
Listen,
Nas's,
my first time listening to Fred the Godsons,
Yeah.
I'm like, damn.
Yeah.
Like I listen to him on Funk
Fred the
Master Flex.
Godson was about to
I listen to
blow
the
up.
mixtapes. I'm like,
Mhm.
bro, this dude is
Oh.
putting them together like
Yeah.
he's spitting.
Mhm.
That's like I say we were talking about Fab because we all like
Oh yeah,
Fab.
Yeah, from
But
Brooklyn.
Fab doesn't have the hits to make him
Yeah, he
the
don't
GOAT.
have the hits.
But he was.
I
He's
can't.
a
But he even
lyricist.
looks at the
Lyricist.
J, so I can't put him
Oh yeah,
at
of
J.
course. Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's why I get into argument. But we were talking about Facebook. Somebody said, "Oh, they don't like J."
Yeah.
And I'm like,
I
I
mean,
don't know
there's a
how.
lot
Like,
of people that don't like Jay.
I understand that. What I'm saying
Everybody
is,
can't like you. You know
of course,
what I'm saying?
that's like
And there's
It
a
is
lot
what
of
it is.
hate too.
that's like.
Yeah.
What was their reasoning? for
Well, they
them
said
not
because
like Jay?
they didn't like what he was talking about. But he talking about real shit.
Yeah, he does. So,
So
who,
it's
do,
like-
who do they like?
It was a Spanish guy. You know what I mean? I don't
Okay.
want to put his name, but like we talking about Facebook,
You
and I'm
don't
like,
have to.
damn, like Jay spits real shit.
Who do you like?
You say Jay.
I like Jay too. I love Jay.
You say the GOAT.
I would say that he is the GOAT.
Who would you say would be underneath, like right underneath him?
Top
Top
five.
five.
Yeah.
Top 5.
That's on
I'd
the
have
spot
to
right
say
there.
Big number 1 because even Jay look up to Big.
Jay look up the Big. I would
You know
say
what I'm
that.
saying?
I can
So
understand
it's
that.
like everybody was like going.
I'll tell you about my
after
top
being
5, but go ahead.
What Big was.
Big.
So I'd say Big, even though he's dead.
Yeah, Big.
Jay.
Jay is number 2.
I'd say
You going in order?
Nas.
Going in
Nas.
order?
I'm not necessarily going in order,
Top
but I'm
5.
just a little,
Okay.
you know, my top
Just
5.
up
Okay,
there.
go
We're
ahead.
not sure where to
Top five,
place
go
it.
ahead. Go ahead.
Nas and Fab.
And
Yeah.
it was 5.
And is that 5 right there?
That's 4.
That's 4. If I got one more, I'd say
It's gonna be.
But-
It's gonna be a New York rapper. I know it.
actually he was from New York, but he moved to Atlanta.
Pop.
And Pop.
Oh, no, that's
Nah,
Pop.
Jeezy.
Jeezy. Okay. Okay. Yeah.
So
Okay. I like
I like
Jeezy
Jeezy
moved
too.
down to Atlanta.
That's the first I ever seen somebody put a top 5
Yeah, I
for Jeezy.
put
on
Jeezy
there.
on there because they don't really
I
listen
like
to
Jeezy though.
Jeezy
Me too.
spits some
I
real
like
stuff
Jeezy
too.
too.
If
They
you
don't
want to
listen-
talk about
yeah,
real
real
stuff,
I like Jeezy too though.
he's another
Jeezy my
person
guy.
who's
His
progressed.
mixtapes.
People
were-
don't listen
You can
when
tell.
he's yeah.
Jeezy's raw.
Yeah, I like Jeezy.
He's good.
I listen to that enough.
That's a good.
once
That's
he
a good
talk about
list,
it.
bro.
What's your list?
My list is Biggie, Pac, Jay, Big Pun, Big L.
Yeah, you put it together. That's a good one.
Nah, Big Pun was raw too.
Big Pun was raw, too. That's what I'm saying. It
He
gets
also died
kinda-
before his
I gotta
time.
put a Latino in there too.
It was
by the way.
people that never really got the blow.
No, yeah,
You
he
say-
was already that good. Just an
He was
album
gonna
in.
make it.
Yo, like come on.
You brought up Fred the Godson.
And-
Fred the Godson
Yeah.
didn't make it, but Fred the Godson
Yeah.
was
I
gonna make it.
completely didn't think about him. Like,
But
He was
see,
gonna
this-
make it. He
so my-
died early with Corona.
So my top 5, I would say I gotta put Jay first. Then I gotta go with Pac.
Yeah.
Then I would go with I'll go with Biggie.
Yeah.
And then 4 I would say I wanna say Fabulous. And then 5 I would say I wanna go with Scarface just cause
oh yeah.
I'm Southern.
Southern.
But the only thing I'm gonna say about with Jay, the only thing I would say with Biggie when Jay was not switching them around is because Jay's longevity. Jay's
Longevity.
his longevity in the game and being able to
You're
keep
right.
it up. Because I know a lot of people get
I
into
want
the
to put
game.
Eminem in the list so bad, bro. But
I mean,
put
Eminem
there
could be
too.
there.
Yeah, he
I wanna
could.
put him
He
in
could.
there.
I put him in the Big L spot.
But it's just like I go with longevity too, because like Jay's been doing it since '96,
Uh-huh.
and longevity wise, he kept it up. Like he didn't slow
Yeah.
down. It wasn't like whack. Like he had some albums that weren't like,
That didn't
The
sell
best,
as
yeah.
much. Yeah.
but he was still lyrical. He
Lyrical.
was still there.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. That's why I say that's why I gotta put
That's
him
a
in
good.
front of Biggie.
That's a good. Yeah, I
Because
get it.
Biggie didn't have enough.
I try to
I
think.
mean, again, he died like early.
That's what I'm saying. So he didn't have enough.
Imagine.
Yeah,
Cause
yeah.
think
Say
about
he's
what.
the GOAT.
No, but think about what
And
he's.
then Pac.
Here's what I was talking
I'm going with
about
Pac.
too.
With
Think
Pac.
about
I'm
what
going
he's.
with Pac. No, Pac
what
had
he-
a lot of.
Think about what he
he
spawned
got
though.
to
No, I
drum
think-
Think about what
it.
Big. So we were talking about this too. Biggie spawned like he did his thing. Then a lot of people spawned out of him. So people sounded like him, did the similar thing. He
Of course,
broke down
everybody
there.
come-
Same
yeah,
thing
yeah.
with Big Pun.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
made a Fat Joe. He made this
Cuban
guy,
Link,
King Blair.
all
Right,
them.
exactly. So
Yeah, yeah.
they spawned off of these guys, but these are the guys who really broke it down.
Well, then you could go back to Big Daddy Kane, and you could go down
Yeah,
there.
exactly, yeah,
They
100%.
spawn more.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is
Talking
then,
about
and then,
listenable stuff. You know.
but then when I take Jay and Biggie, but then when I go to Tupac, the only reason I put Tupac, everybody puts Tupac first. Sometimes a lot of people
Yeah,
do.
some people
The only
do, a
thing
lot
is,
of
like,
people
I
do.
just think Tupac's consistency as far as what he was rapping
He had more
about.
work though.
He had a lot of work.
Yeah,
He
a
still
lot
has
of
work now because he
Yeah.
sold more albums when he was
Yeah,
dead than he
yeah,
was
yeah.
alive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm saying his consistency about
I
like
put Pac for put
one
Pac-
song that he
Pac.
has like keep your head up, and the other song is toss them up.
Another one from.
I just think those
New
were
York
kind
to
of
LA.
like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I just put him on a different level. Like J.K. stays consistent throughout his
Yeah.
You
career.
said he can't stay consistent.
No, he
Yeah,
can.
he wasn't consistent with his
Jay isn't?
word.
Who, Jada?
No, Tupac.
Tupac.
Oh, Pac.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was.
I
Because
mean,
Tupac had a
Dear
keep your
Mama.
head up, and then he had
Yeah.
Dear Mama,
But
and
the
then he
thing
would
about
have
Tupac
him
is
hit him up,
Tupac-
kill everybody.
Tupac is gonna talk about,
He was emotional.
yeah, when he's
But
dealing
also-
with
You can feel
that
it.
moment.
Yeah.
Because Patricia, no, my wife doesn't understand Tupac because of the emotion.
Yeah.
Like, because he's yelling, he's angry, he's like, hit him up, oh, your glass. And he like, you know what I mean? She doesn't
Which is
like
why
that.
I like.
That's what he was feeling.
That's
But,
why
he-
I like
but
it.
she doesn't like that.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
I do.
You know what I mean? I love it.
Yeah.
I
I
love
mean,
him.
he was real.
He was real.
And it.
But I just think like that
can't-
part.
Hold on. Why can't an artist? I was thinking about this after we talked the other day.
No.
Why can't an artist do both? or maybe even
That's how I
act. So
feel.
why can't you do?
But I think you gotta be
hold on.
consistent.
You just said no. Whoa. You just
You
said
gotta be
about Jay.
consistent.
Okay, but you said about Jay.
Yeah,
It's
go ahead.
okay to be into politics, into money,
Yeah.
into women, into
Growth, maturity.
right. So you can talk
Yeah,
about all those things because there's a
yeah.
good. If you're attaching, it's just music. Bro. So if you're if
It
you're,
is.
if you're being creative and
It
you're
is.
being and you're creating art is what this is.
Mhm.
Then
Art.
why not attach it to everything? So then
Yeah,
Pac
and
does
you
go on my
I
expressing
just think-
yourself.
I just think your heart
because
is.
you don't just
I
think
just
about
think
this one
even-
thing.
Yeah.
I agree.
Your mind thinks about a bunch of
I
things.
agree,
It's
but
kind
I-
of the reason why you and I get along.
But I think your heart, what you stand for, is gonna come out. Like if you look at
I don't stand
Jay's
for one
career,
thing.
but if you look at Jay's career, from '96 he's selling drugs, right?
Okay.
As he goes on,
He's all about money.
not selling drugs anymore.
Right.
He's about hustling, making money, right? Then eventually he's teaching you to not sell drugs.
Yeah.
Don't do that because Jay did that.
Oh no, but
Right?
that's a song
That's
where he
his
breaks
song,
down
right?
how to
Yeah.
how to
Listen,
make the
so
money.
now he's talking about the shit that's going on in the world now,
Yeah.
right? Story of OJ, all that, right?
Yeah.
Right.
The growth in that is what I think makes you
I get you
like
because you can see
the
his
GOAT,
growth. You can see
right?
his growth.
If he was still now talking about selling drugs
Yeah,
on
yeah.
the block, I don't know. I guess he could be the GOAT, right? Rapping wise, whatever. Like Fab, to me, is just lyrical. Why he could just say, you know what I mean? He can make something and it sounds cool, like and all his
He
little
got the swag.
yeah, and all his little like
He got the
what do you call it?
bars.
Analogies? What do you call
Yeah.
it? Like he makes them and it's like
Yeah.
super cool.
Yeah, I get it.
Like Soul Tape, all that
Like
shit.
the punchlines.
Punchlines are crazy. Like he just keeps coming. Like
the
Freddie
metaphors,
Godson.
The bars.
Freddie Godson was hitting metaphors. I seen him on Funk Master Flex doing a freestyle.
Yeah.
That shit was like, I was like, damn, I didn't even know he could rap like that.
Nah, that's rough.
But what I'm saying is, but then when you make albums, you gotta make songs that people can understand. You gotta be able to make
We were
music.
talking about like Freeway.
You gotta be able to make music.
What about
Jay
Freeway?
makes
When you hear
music
Freeway, you go
but
lyrical,
Freeway
Emotional.
was
he
lyrical.
was
Yeah,
good.
lyrical.
He was good lyrical too.
and
But
he knew how to make
what's
that
crazy
club
is like
banger.
when I talk to people in Miami, right? Older people than me that was in there back in the days in the
Yeah.
80s,
Yeah.
they listen to Jay. I didn't know that.
But but they also listen to Rick Ross.
No, Rick Ross wasn't back in the 80s.
Oh yeah, true. We're talking about like rap.
I'm talking about they listen to Jay, like in the 90s, I'm saying. Like
Yeah,
people
yeah,
that were
yeah,
born
yeah,
in the
yeah.
80s in Miami, they listen to Jay, and
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
like, I didn't even know that.
Yeah, yeah.
Until I met these people and I talked about it, and we're like, oh yeah.
We listen to
Oh,
this guy
you
too.
didn't know that.
Yeah, he
I didn't know they listened to it.
Yeah.
When I would listen to it, I was only listening to Master P at the
Yeah,
time.
yeah, yeah.
I was listening to Cash Money. That was what I
That was
grew
your
up on.
that was your circle.
You gotta think about
Correct.
it. Those record sales are coming from all over.
Yeah, true.
Correct. But when
That
I'm
ain't
listening
just
to
New
Reasonable
York.
Doubt and they
Yeah.
telling me about, the Jay, blah, blah,
Listening
blah,
to
blah, blah,
Juvenile,
and they
and I'm like,
understanding it, I'm like,
Some
I'm
people
thinking,
went
really?
back and did their research and went back and
Yeah.
listened.
And they're
to
like,
it.
Listen to
Jay-
Mystical.
when I was in
I was
Bahamas,
thinking-
that boy say St. Thomas, that boy say all that stuff, and people are like, oh
Sometimes that was
yeah.
me first.
First,
Yeah.
you're like,
Yeah.
damn. And Jay was the man. So I don't know. It's just, I get it. I'm just saying, like, he just, the way he is, I don't want to be on his dick. What I'm saying is,
Well,
like, the way he
I mean,
grew.
Nah, he that dude though.
He that guy, man.
It's
Like,
hard- it's
and
hard
now
to
he's
say
even
he's-
doing it worse because now he like Rock Nation.
Yeah.
He
It's
like
hard
putting
now.
everybody
Put
on.
him
It's
on.
like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
A
He's
great
the GOAT to me.
businessman.
I think
just
it's. I think everything's a
rap wise and then
Okay. All right.
It's-